Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise series. Guys, today we're taking on the Indianapolis Colts, and starting off the first play of the game, it's going to be a pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. I know one thing is, last week when they lost to the San Francisco 49ers, they were ticked off. That was a team that they thought they were going to go in there and they were going to beat, and they absolutely got obliterated, and that did not sit well for them going into this week, especially now going against the Colts, who they blew out last time they played. So it was just one of those things where it's like you go into this game and you're like, okay, I'm ticked off. We shouldn't have lost last week. We threw last week away. I mean, obviously we are now 6-1 and 5-1 now. 5-2, my bad. But we're 5-2 right now. We have the division pretty much on lock. If we win this week, we could, theoretically speaking, pretty much claim the division either this week or next week. So it's really at that point right now where we're looking very, very good. AFC wise, the Chiefs are 6-2. We are currently 5-2. So obviously the Chiefs are neck and neck with us. So if they go ahead and lose this week, we could take it over them. And I believe we do take it over them because we beat them head to head. So that's very awesome. The Dolphins are also currently 5-2. So they're on a kind of a window where we're all in the same area, right? So we could take the AFC next week if we could go ahead and get a W today. And of course, if these other teams could lose, I'd appreciate it. We could be the number 1 seed. So again, very exciting. Now the Chiefs did have their we had our wait, do we have a bye week? Yeah, we had our bye week already. So that does kind of hurt us because other teams didn't. Like the Chiefs didn't have the bye week already, so they have 7 games. So they're always going to be ahead of us until they have their bye week. So it's one of those things we just going to have to deal with it, that they had the bye week, we didn't. So yeah. Nonetheless, though, one thing you're going to see in this gameplay is that we are going to run the ball a lot more than we have done, as of recently. And this is something that going into last week, we saw a big issue with, was that they were not running the ball at all. And that definitely hurt them a lot. And it stopped them from being able to be as great as they wanted to be. So this is something we're going to see this week, is a lot more running the football, a lot more going ahead and being smarter with this offense. And that's something that I'm excited to see, them progress a lot more into, because last week was kind of a sham when it came to, they ran the ball 3 times the whole entire game, and yet they got blown out in that game. And a lot of the reason why they got blown out was they wasn't running the football effectively. And right here, 3rd and goal after 2 complete other shutdown runs. Let's see if they can go ahead and get in, and they do. But yeah, so something we want to see this week more is just them running the football, being more effective with the football, being smarter with the football. Sometimes, that just goes ahead and wins games. You run the clock down, you control clock, you eat clock, and then you win the game because of that. And so far, it definitely looks like 14-0 that we're seeing a different, Jacksonville Jaguars squadron right here, who is just playing more effective, playing more efficient, where we might not see a Trevor Lawrence game today that's 600-700 yards. But what we are going to see is a lot more effective of a team going into this contest and playing smart. So definitely very good in that aspect. But let's see, though, what the Colts can do for halftime here. Only down by 14 points. I say only because you guys already know with this team. Jacksonville, we are hunters. We go for it. You know that already. So when we're up only down by 14, it's a big thing because we could go ahead and be up by, 48 in the next quarter, right? So it's one of those things, when we have a lead, we just eat. We eat, man. We go for it. We go even harder than we were before, trying to go for that lead. So again, just the mentality of us guys, throughout these 2 years now we've played, we have the mentality of like hunters. We go for it. Nonetheless, though, before halftime here, let's see if we can get a stop. They will get the ball down to the 3-yard line here. 2nd and goal now at 3-yard line, and it will be a touchdown right here. So just like that, it is 14-7 at halftime. And before halftime, let's see if Trevor Lawrence can do anything smart, do anything stupid, and let's see what he does. He ends up completing a pass right there to Julio Jones. So again, the run game is not going to be effective in this situation. So we're going to see a lot more pass game type stuff. And right here is another completion of Julio Jones. And let's speak about Julio Jones for just a simple simple second. You know, every single week now, it seems like he's having 100-yard games. I mean, even last week, to the loss to the San Francisco 49ers, he did have a 115-yard game. No touchdowns, but he did have 115 yards. The week before that, we played the Kansas City Chiefs, and of course, Julio Jones, why not? 121 yards and a tutty. You know, he's having 100-yard games every single year, every single week now, as he gets a touchdown right here and goes ahead and takes the score 21-7 at halftime. That was a statement drive. Very, very good drive right there by this offense. And even last time they did play against the let's talk about last time they did play against the Colts, they didn't have Julio. Or did they? Let me see. He's not showing up on the stat sheet. Yeah. Oh no, they did. He was actually held catchless. Wow. Okay, that was actually surprising. I did not even realize that. Last time they played the Colts, that blowout win, Julio Jones was actually held catchless in that contest. Even though they blew out their opponent, Julio Jones did not get involved, and he had 71 yards in the tutty week before. But last time they played him, they didn't even allow one catch to Julio. So that is another really interesting contest. And today he already has gone over 100 yards receiving, I believe. So again, Julio just going back to what he normally does. But that's actually very surprising that he did not have over any catch, let alone one catch, in that contest last time they played. So definitely interesting. Nonetheless, though, 21-7 here, and you can see they are running the football, like I said, a lot more effectively, a lot better. James Robinson definitely has been asking for the last couple weeks, like, hey, where's the carries, man? Where's the carries? Because that man has on the season not had, you know, too many carries. On the season, he's only had like 50 carries. And again, you know, for a pass first team, that's not always the most, you know, surprising, especially like when we see the Buffalo Bills last year where they are really pass heavy. But when you have a halfback like James Robinson and Travis Etienne, only 2 carries on the year, you want to see a little bit more carries. You want to see a little bit more, you know, targets, as Travis Etienne literally might have been his second reception of the year. Yeah, so on the year, that was actually his first reception right there. That was the first time Travis Etienne has caught the ball this year, which is very surprising after coming off that really, really good rookie year, to see him not, you know, get as much targets / receptions, you know, as last year. But again, we're going to see more and more, especially as the playoffs come around, you're going to see more and more Travis Etienne. You're going to see more and more of these guys really start to progress and, you know, become these stars that we already know that they are. So again, it's one of those things where it's hard when you have an offense like you do with Jacksonville, where, you know, there is times where there could be a game where it's literally just targeted around one player gets the ball a lot, or, you know, someone's going off where they just simply, this is how it works. So you don't see, you know, Travis Etienne and other players really progress too much. But I want to say real fast, just a key side note here, just shout out to Miles Jack. I mean, he has 3 touchdowns on the season. He has 3 interceptions on the season. He also has he has 1 forced fumble and 2 fumble recoveries in the season. And also Dante Hightower, shout out to that man right there. You know, we traded for Dante Hightower when he was injured and he was out for 24 months. After many negotiations with contracts, we ended up going ahead and working out a contract together, and that contract did lead to us signing a 7-year deal with him. And, you know, I will say that we took a risk for him when he was at his worst, when he was injured for 2 seasons, and we waited 2 seasons and he came back, and since he has came back, he has been an absolute monster for us. He has 7 forced fumbles on the year, and that is definitely leading the NFL in forced fumbles, leading the NFL in turnovers. To have one player cause that much of an impact on our team is definitely an understatement, to say the least, how impactful he has been to not only our star players, but also our younger players, our rookie players coming in and making the team. And we have a lot of newer faces, especially after last year. So very exciting to see him, you know, really progress to that next level. I'm excited to see how he can do in the near future. Now he is obviously up there in age. He is, I believe, 32, 33 years old. But again, you know, you just want to see players like that come in and really, if anything, dictate the future of football for, you know, this team. So let's go ahead and look at the stats of today, guys. 10 for 14, 160 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions for Trevor Lawrence. We had 20 carries today, including one of them being to Travis Etienne, our star rookie from last year. And again, we want to get him more involved in the team. It's not like we have any shade towards Travis Etienne. I promise on that, guys. It's just a simple fact that the game plan sometimes does not call a heavy rush game, and also we just don't throw to our halfbacks as much now that Julio Jones has become a part of this team and really has progressed into the star he actually is. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment down below. See you guys next one. Peace out.